My future fighters, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm plugging in to see what these uniforms are all about. This is a very, very cool graphic. We got the blue, we got the red, we got the purple there in the middle for us. All uniforms on sale, yada, yada, yada. Let's see what's going on. Now, full disclosure, oh, I forgot to put up the stars things. Okay. There we go, they're back. Full disclosure, I do already know a little bit about the uniforms. I did take a peek at midnight, but I haven't actually purchased them yet. So this is going to be a fresh run here. We're not going to get an in-depth look at both of them because I don't want to do that now. I want to sort of play this out a little bit, but we are going to be purchasing both Namor's uniform and we're also going to be purchasing Magik's uniform with the very, very bitchy bangs type icon there in the top left hand corner, the what do you call it, the avatar. Anyways, so we're going to be purchasing both of these, and then we're going to see what we can do as far as upgrading them goes. I think Namor is automatically equipped with his, so yes, he does become a villain as we thought. He gets the Phoenix Force ability in addition to having his durability and strong. There are quite a lot of reports that his tier 3 skill loses a whole bunch of effects. Now we're gonna have to see in gameplay if it actually is the fact, if it's actually true that these effects are being lost, or which would mean that they changed his tier 3 skill, or if they're just not showing up in the text. And the reason why I say that they're not showing up in the text but they're still there is because his tier 3 skill wasn't listed as a changed skill, whereas it would be when you look at other uniforms. I believe Iron Man's uniform lists his ultimate skill as a changed skill. You know what? It doesn't. Okay, it's a little bit sketchy. That worries me just a little bit. They did also change his 5th skill animation, but they didn't change the ultimate skill, or they didn't change the ultimate skill animation. As far as the uniform options go, I had to go and look it up. The uniform options for Namor are Shuri Black Panther, Wolverine Age of Apocalypse with one hand, Hulk Ragnarok, which is good, Ant-Man Civil War, which is kind of bad, and then Kid Kaiju Monsters Unleashed, which is also kind of bad. And then for Magik, the uniform options are Nick Fury, which is, it's okay, Vulture, which is also kind of just okay, Killmonger, which is pretty bad, Iron Fist, all new and different, and Marvel Zombies Venom. So yeah, Magik's a little bit awkward. The last two are free to play and easy to get, but man, Fury, Vulture, Killmonger back to back to back is pretty brutal. I gotta say, boys, it's pretty brutal. I have 600 bios here. How many bios do I have for him saved up? I have 150. Okay, so we definitely want to use the rank up tickets here. We might just want to use this mythic rank up ticket. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do it. Boom. Yeah, let's get it. So I didn't even have to read and look up the uniform options from Namor because I've got them right here. Boom, 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 and I've got 4 out of 5 already mythic, which is pretty nasty. I just got to get this last one here, but because we have a rage, we want to swap these to dodge. Boom. Okay, so there you go. I had to do a whole bunch of changes. I was staring at this, calculating in my head for like 8 minutes, but we went ahead with dodge, physical attack, HP, dodge, crit damage. I upgraded this one from rare all the way to legendary. Did all that behind the scenes. Also swapped his 4th gear over to crit damage, and now with this uniform you can see so many yellow stats. Capped crit rate, nearly capped crit damage, nearly capped dodge, capped ignore defense, capped cooldown, and then we got 122.6 on the attack speed. So I cannot wait to take him into some gameplay, and I'm going to be doing it now to see how much better this uniform is. But the big question mark here is the tier 3 skill. It looks a bit fishy. But otherwise, he only really gets a change to his 5th skill, Burning Trident. There are some additional effects added, and I think his 3rd skill has some additional hits, but otherwise it seems pretty par the course. As for Magik, she does have quite a few skill changes, but the most interesting one I think is going to be her 4th skill. It has a 30-second native cooldown time, so that's going to be 15 seconds even when you have maximum skill cooldown, but it's going to affect her fire slash skill. We're going to go up to 15% here. Can we keep leveling this up and see if this changes? It does not. So 15 seconds. For 15 seconds, her first skill is going to be spammable completely. So this is really cool. It's a little reminiscent of Doctor Strange. It also buffed up her regular, her mixed magic passive, her regular passive. It's 15, 10, 15 with a 15% recovery. And its next effect activates after 3 uses for 10 seconds. But what is the original effect? It's a 10% recovery, and it's 10-10-10 with a 1-second cooldown. What is the difference? 10-10, 15-10-15, 15%. Okay, and yeah. Okay, yeah, really, really small change there, but otherwise, she seems quite similar. She also has decrease all defense down, but it doesn't appear to apply to world bosses, but we're going to level this one up anyways. Let's just throw her into some really quick gameplay to see if that all defense down does apply, because I've heard some mixed results here. It might just be that we have you know, bad coding at first, which is always a possibility, but let's go see here. She's not universal, she's blast, and let's find her wherever she is. We can unlock her potential. We're not trying to unlock her potential, we're just trying to see. I actually didn't even notice, does Magik have that many skills with fire damage? Because I threw Satana on here and Ghost Panther. Ghost Panther is pretty much a no-brainer because you need to use, you know, non-Coulson type buffs. And you know, we're gonna have to talk about waves soon too, but let's just see here if this applies all defense down. It does not apply all defense down, but now let's see her first skill. Yeah, you can just keep spamming this, damage seems decent. Keep spamming it, keep spamming it, keep spamming it, keep spamming it, keep spamming it. Can I just hold it down? You can't hold it down. But yeah, it's pretty cute. There might be some interesting things that can come of being able to spam her first skill like this. It's really nice too that her first skill, from an animations point of view, her first skill creates the bird. So you can see, well, you can't see it right now, but you can see here it creates a bird that flies away. But once the buff is gone, once that fourth skill buff is gone, her first skill doesn't create that bird anymore. It just creates a bit of a sort of like a weird chunky arrow. Additionally, her second skill also has extra buffs and extra animations and possibly extra hits when you use her fourth skill. So Magik she seems complicated, she seems interesting. We're gonna have to test her out in another video later on, but first I want to jump into let's go stage 60 and see what happened to my boy Namor. And just before we go over to Namor, we're going to triple check, but I'm pretty sure this is the case. Sadly, where's Wave? Where are you, girl? Yeah, they did not change Wave, so it applies to hero allies. So yeah, rip Wave's leadership for Namor, or sorry, rip Wave's passive for Namor. It's only going to be the leadership. As far as the actual skills go, Namor's got all 5 flames, so huge buff for someone like Satana and also Ghost Panther. And then for here, oh my gosh, 1 skill deals what? That's terrible. Only 1 skill deals fire damage. That makes no sense. Okay, so yeah, fire damage is not really going to help Magik out much. Man, I don't know. These are both paywall characters, and somehow they found a way to buff up the best paywall support character for these characters at the same time. Man, Netmarble, you never cease to amaze me with your sneaky ways. So here we go. We're gonna go in with this team here. We're not gonna no, let's just go. We're just gonna go and see. I want to see what his tier 3 skill looks like. I want to see if he plays differently. I want to see if he feels different. So I don't think strikers are really gonna help me get a grasp on that, because mind control, stuff like that. If he's lost survivability, if he's gained survivability, the HP shield that he gets will actually help him out a little bit, and also the extra rocks you see are falling down from his third skill will also help trigger his rage proc more consistently because of the crits. But here we go. This is what I would normally do. I would wait until there's 3 seconds left and I pop the tier 3 skill. Okay, there we go. There's the damage. Then it's going to proc again, and you have some extra damage there. Okay, so overall, okay, seems to be the same. I didn't get hit by the by any of the snare things there. Okay, so it took about 35 seconds to get down to the first, first half of the first phase of the fight. Let's keep going and see. Oh, we can pop this again. Let's see how long it takes us to get down to 7 bars. Then we'll take the uniform off and we'll try again. We did not proc the rage one there, but that was some pretty good damage nonetheless. Okay, there we go. He's got a new 5th skill, which looks pretty cool. I've taken a little bit of damage in terms of hits, but I still have most of my HP. That's also pretty nice to see. I don't know if that is because there we go. Oh, there we go. So that took about 1 minute and 10 seconds. I'll call that 1:05 because I really could have gotten there faster. I was already at 7 bars, and I was just hesitating to use the tier 3 skill because I knew she was going to go into her next phase. So now we're going to switch over to his non-uniform version. This is going to deplete his stats quite a bit. So he loses, 16% crit damage. He's going to lose 20% dodge. So this is where I would actually normally reroll this crit damage over back to dodge. But let's just see what it looks like, okay? Let's just see what it looks like. But now we can use wave, but we're not going to. We're gonna keep the same team up. Again, he's not gonna gain as much from Ghost Panther now because the 50% fire damage is not being added. But here's the thing. If he actually was nerfed, and again, I don't know, but the tier 3 skill is kind of weird. All those stats missing is kind of weird. If he did get nerfed, then this should be a lot more similar than people think in terms of the damage output, especially when it comes to the tier 3 skill. So let's take a look here. We did get snared last time, so this is pretty much par of the course. We've already taken more damage than last time, though. It's just kind of scary, but we're going to wait 2 seconds left. We're going to pop it. It seems like there's less damage at the beginning of the tier 3 skill. But yeah, okay, so a lot of this also is factored in by the fact that we sort of nerfed our own rage proc because we took off we got snared again because we took off that dodge. So maybe we just need to put the dodge back on. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, we're already behind schedule here with the timing of the old rotation versus the new one. So maybe we need to compensate for that fire damage by adding in wave. I think maybe that will compensate for the 50% fire damage. Perhaps that's a more fair comparison because this one does seem a little bit unfair. We were basically already down to 7 bars at this time, whereas I'll count this proc, but we're still 2 bars off. A little bit more than 2 bars off, actually. Wow. So that might be a pretty decent upgrade, but I did mythic the uniform. So let's swap wave in now, and let's see. This would be kind of the optimal team for him. But I guess you wouldn't use... Well, it doesn't really matter if you use Ghost Panther or if you use Shuri. It's pretty much the same thing. Shuri gives you a bit more defense, but she's not going to give you more offense. And I wouldn't use Wave and Nick Fury for Namor. It's just like way overkill. Like Namor's a really strong character. I don't need to use all that. I don't need to throw that much into the bucket here for Namor to be able to do enough damage against Proxima. So we dodged the tornadoes that time, which is nice. Oh, never mind. We did not dodge the tornadoes. I lied. But we're gonna see here if the proc is looking spicy or not. That was a lot better. And let's see here. That was a lot better as well. Okay, this is looking a lot more similar to what we had before. We got time frozen this time. Okay, sure, yeah. We weren't able to pop the tier 3 skill, so we are still behind. Okay, let's just pop this now to get to sort of try to catch up. But it seems like he definitely does a lot more damage with his new uniform. Now that could be a factor of the dodge, but that could also just be his new skills. Now, I mean, again, I haven't done an in-depth look at this, but this is looking pretty good for Namor as far as his new uniform being a big upgrade. We're gonna pop this here. That was really good. That was a lot of damage, but we're gonna miss the proc on the follow-up. Yeah, and we're still behind. We're still way behind where I was. Damn. Way behind. Let me quickly switch the dodge on his 4th gear, and we'll try this one more time. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to swap this over to dodge. Oh, got it on the first try. That was really nice. So we dropped to 165 dodge, but now we're up to 68%, or sorry, 165 crit damage, but we're up to 68% dodge, which is a lot closer to the cap of 75. Now we're going to jump back in with the same team here and see how he does. Perhaps he can more closely approximate the damage, but I don't know. I feel like this uniform is a pretty big win for him. It's a pretty big loss for Wave, but that is up to Netmarble to fix. I mean, man, not really giving those Filipino fans much to get hype about when you don't even make the character that's being buffed for Namor actually usable with Namor, because you gave him a uniform the very next update that takes away his, her main value for him. So I really think that Netmarble should probably reconsider that. that was a nice proc. We're going to see the second half of this here. Man, we missed it again. But we still got almost a bar's worth of damage. That's nice. Let's get those octopuses coming out, but we're still behind. Yep. This is where we would have been, about 35 seconds, and we're not even close here. Yeah, I just don't know what to say. It's just not close. He does quite a bit more damage with his new uniform. I mean, it is a difference of 35% crit damage, but I really can't get that 35% crit damage from anywhere. So giving him the crit damage wouldn't really illustrate the value of the uniform, because I would just be manipulating the team to make their stats even. And I think if you have Namor at tier 3, I mean, my first impression is that why wouldn't you buy the uniform? It's kind of like Mr. Fantastic. I sort of told you guys that Mr. Fantastic's uniform wasn't really necessary unless you have him at tier 3. But if you have him at tier 3, why wouldn't you get the uniform? Why wouldn't you get the upgrade for the character that you spent all those resources, you blew, you know. For him, it's only 800 CCF. For Mr. Fantastic, it's 1200. But, you know, why would you waste the CCF if you're not going to upgrade the character? But, man, we're almost a minute behind at this point. He's almost a minute faster with his uniform. Wow. Again, I might have a really optimal build with this uniform, but I'm kind of surprised. Because of all the rumors that I heard, of all the sort of mixed results that I heard, people were saying that the damage is not as good. I'm going to have to do more investigative work into the tier 3 skill, but I wanted to bring the tier 3 skill to your attention, even though I don't know where all these effects have gone. Like, am I still getting the cleanse, that remove all debuff there? Because you noticed I was stunned. I got hit by the tornado, I think, or she stunned me with her skill before I used my tier 3 skill, the last one, but I got out of it because I used the tier 3 skill. Am I still going to get the ignore dodge? Am I still getting the guaranteed dodge, the 50% guaranteed dodge? Where is it with his new uniform? Or is this intentionally a nerf? Did they intentionally nerf his survivability on his tier 3 skill so that you would want to alternate between the uniform and the classic look for different reasons? Like, if you want to be more of a support tier 3, you would use this one for like GBR, but then if you just wanted to do crazy damage for like ABX, you would use this one. I don't know. I don't want to speculate and say that they did this on purpose and that they nerfed his tier 3 skill, but it's pretty bizarre that there's that much text missing. That's a pretty big mess up. That's a pretty big goof up on their part. So they should absolutely address this. Really, Netmarble, you should post something saying, you know, listen, we did this on purpose, or we didn't do this on purpose, specifically for this tier 3. So yeah, that is the first impressions of both Namor and Magik. I'm going to have more in-depth stuff coming for you guys right around the corner, so do not miss that. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell. Make sure you give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Oh, wow. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you later today. Take care.